I like to use my paper teleprompter. These Democrats have passed these laws with, horrific hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars being printed, hundreds of billions of dollars unaccounted for. Today, by the way, the U.S. dollar hit a 16-month low against the euro today. Geithner said today, we will never embrace a strategy to weaken the dollar before the CFR. Somebody in the Republican Party has got to overcome the prostitute press and tell the truth and get the word out there. Now, I'd also like to give you a chance to redeem yourself for your vote back in 2008 for the $800 billion of the Bush first Wall Street bailout.
You mean TARP?
TARP.
TARP,
Yes,
yeah.
the first one. Now, two things I'm asking of you. Would you please be the American champion, lead the pack to tell the EPA and tell Obama EPA should not make law like they did yesterday when they told Shell Oil you cannot drill. How else can we get oil from this country? Okay, and number two, you got a lot of power, you have a lot of expertise, very intelligent.
But.
2/3.
I sense the butt coming there.
No, just a chance to redeem yourself for that vote. I love you, man, we really do. 2/3 of the American public have, in recent polls, have said we do not want the federal debt limit ceiling raised.
Yeah.
Okay?
Here,
You
here.
and Boehner are for raising the ceiling if, big if, you can make deals with the Democrats. You can't. Obama and the Democrats have proven you can't make deals. Would you please, I'm asking yes or no, would you please vote no and say that you will? Do not increase the debt ceiling. You will right then, you will defund Obamacare, you will defund Planned Parenthood, abortion, and hundreds of billions of dollars of other stuff. Will you do it? Yes or no, please? Thank you.
Let me answer that third. Okay, Geithner on low dollar. Every Treasury Secretary, their job is to talk about a strong dollar.
Sure.
I don't think this one or the Bush Treasury Secretaries were sincere about it. I think the evidence is clear. Weak dollar is not a good policy.
No.
We are jeopardizing our status as the world reserve currency. We are courting inflation. We're seeing inflation pop up around the world. Look at commodity prices. All those leading indicators of inflation, the value of the dollar, the Treasury yield curve, I'll get a little technical on this, or commodities, are screaming inflation is coming. And it is, in my opinion, because of our monetary policy. QE2, I think you were referencing that. The money printing that's taking place, I've been a big critic of that. I don't think that was a good idea. I think it is potentially setting us up for a hard fall. It ends at the end of June. You can speculate about what that will do in the bond market, or more importantly, what that will do in the stock market. The point is, you can't print money to fix this problem. Printing, just creating money from the one hand of the federal government to buy the debt of the other hand of the federal government doesn't work. It courts inflation, and it's not real. And so we do need a strong dollar, and we need policies that are sincerely strong dollar policies. There's nothing more insidious that a government can do to its own people than to debase the value of its currency. If you live on a fixed income, if you're retired, and your retirement assets are denominated in dollars, this is the worst for you, because this wipes away the value, the purchasing power of your dollars. So this is why, among all things, I think the Federal Reserve and our government, and our fiscal policy is a big part of this now. You've got to get this under control. If this debt gets out of control, then we will be debasing our currency. So you've got to get this debt under control, especially for the people who have already retired, who live on dollars. TARP. Now, you asked me about the TARP vote. I do believe at that time that we were in the cusp of a crash. And nobody knows with certainty whether that was going to happen or not. But there was enough uncertainty at the time. And I do believe the Federal Reserve Chairman and the Treasury Secretary contributed to the problem by sort of hyperventilating this problem, by hyperventilating a panic. And by the time this panic arrived on our doorstep at Congress, I think it was too late to avert it. And I do believe something had to be done to prevent a real crash from occurring. They call it a deflationary spiral. What I was worried about was not about the banks on Wall Street. I was worried about the banks on Main Street. I was worried about the small businesses who would go into debt and wouldn't be able to get their debt financed. I was worried about innocent, bystanding businesses going bankrupt across the board. That, to me, was what I was worried about. And I wasn't willing to gamble that if that didn't pass, that wouldn't happen. So it was not a pleasant vote. And I'll just say this. That situation caught us by surprise. And what did we get out of it? We got a recession. We got a really bad recession. Millions of people lost their jobs. Trillions of dollars of wealth out of people's savings lost. This problem, we see it coming. I mean, this debt crisis is much bigger, much worse. We know what's happening, and what's happening? We have people that aren't leading in Washington. We have people ducking their political responsibilities to get the situation under control. So if anything that I learned from TARP